Hello and welcome to the latest edition of the Daily Red podcast. I'm your host, Jack McIndoe, and I'm going to be taking you through all the latest Liverpool transfer news in general as well. And of course, the build-up to the big game this afternoon, a 4:30 kickoff. It's going to be a very busy day here at Anfield Index across the board. Obviously, pre-match, post-match shows as well, of course. We'll be taking you through every single last kick of the game with Matchday Live. I'll be hosting that with a live commentary. So if you're watching the Daily Red, make sure you do tune in for that as well. And we've got the Gag Standing Show following the full-time whistle as well. And the flagship programming of Anfield Index, the post-match Raw. Dave, Trev and the lads will be taking you through their expert analysis of all the key moments of the big game tonight really. Well, this afternoon, sorry. It's a must-win, Reds. We'll speak about that at the back end of today's show anyway. Reds, I'm looking forward to the game today. I know I'm given the context, the other results that have happened over the last 24 hours as well. We'll speak about that a bit later anyway, but we won't waste any more time really. We'll get straight into the main key stories at the moment. And we'll start, obviously, with the title on the thumbnail anyway, of Ibrahima Konate. There's been a bit more interesting news in relation to Ibrahima Konate's potential contract. This is coming from Ekrem Kuno as well. He's gone with Ibrahima Konate. Liverpool talks. Clubs in negotiating with the defender over a potential new deal. Strong interest from several clubs. Liverpool keen to secure extension very quickly as well. And obviously, chat, let us know your thoughts on this. It's obviously the Ibu's been going through, obviously, the news that we heard over the last couple of weeks as well as fans. And we're all with you, Ibu, and certainly you do wonder how ill his father has been. So we're all with you, mate, and it was amazing to see him get the goal last weekend anyway, and obviously on the watch along when we reacted to it as well. But there was real emotion from every Liverpool fan, but most importantly from Ibu. And the one thing we as a Liverpool community as well, everyone, whether they have different views and opinions, but I think Liverpool's best strength, as I mentioned on Daily Red's episode yesterday, is the unity is our strength as a football club. Being together in the difficult moments, in the good moments as well, coming together and very much supporting the players when they certainly do need it as well. So I think we're all hoping, me personally as well, I think everyone at Liverpool is hoping that Ibu signs a new deal. And this would be some fantastic news. It would certainly give us a big boost. A deal of this nature, it's understandable, of course, coming into the back end. He will be, as we all know, a free transfer come at the end of the season as well. But I think a deal of this nature will certainly take a fair bit of time. I know everyone's thinking on what happened with Trent as well, but Ibu will have Real Madrid knocking on his door. He'll have Paris Saint-Germain knocking on his door. Even though you've got Pacho and a couple of other very good centre halves, Paris Saint-Germain as well. Even though he is a Paris lad himself, but obviously he wants to be given the right amount of wages that he deserves to be getting paid. In excess, probably 250, 300 grand a week. A lot of Reds might go, "Oh, that's a bit too much," but when you correlate that to other centre-halves in European football, and especially in the Premier League as well. Look at William Saliba, look at Gabriel, the amount of money they're getting paid at Arsenal. Obviously, you look down the motorway, not Manchester United, but when Man United were actually a half-decent football club, even though they have won 4 games on the bounce. Well done. But you look at Manchester City's depth in terms of their wage structure as well. And I do feel Liverpool certainly do need to push the boat out in certain aspects in respect to maybe rewarding players. Because if Ibu comes out and says to the club and the hierarchy, yes, I want to sign, then sound, give him what he's worth anyway, because he's going into his prime years as a centre-half. And I think as the other clubs that I just mentioned, that will be certainly vying for his signature. Now, currently, of course, he can join as a free transfer. He can negotiate already. His agent's probably certainly negotiating with other teams. But I'm hopefully, chat, we're just fans. I'm just speaking from my personal opinion. Might be probably many of you that might potentially see him going away from Liverpool. But for me personally, I'd like him to sign a new deal, get paid in accordance to what centre halves in European football are getting given. Virgil van Dijk and Ibu are a very solid centre back pairing, even though this year has been very disappointing, and we've seen some poor performances from Ibu and certainly Van Dijk as well. But as we said on Matchday Live, on the watch longs, it's the disrupted momentum when you're changing fullbacks as a centre half, and certainly goalkeepers as well. Like for Alisson Becker, he's been in and out. So those two lads have been more or less consistent through the majority of this season in the centre back position as well. And just there's been so much noise around them in terms of the rotation of players, even in front of them as well. As we all know, whatever generation you watch Liverpool, in terms of how solid your foundation blocks start from your back in terms of creating that big, crucial spine of your team. Obviously, your goalkeeper, your centre halves, central midfielder as well, and then obviously having a strong striker in the form, and we've certainly got that with Hugo Ekitike as well. So for me, chat, hopefully Ekrem Konate is right there. There'll be certainly a lot of negotiations, but if he isn't to go, then obviously, if he is to go, then we all wish him very well as well. He's a Premier League winner as well, champ. He's done absolutely everything really with Liverpool, and he's put everything on the line. And yeah, he's been absolutely tremendous for this football club. And yeah, if he is to go, it'll be very disappointing. Chat, let us know. Let's get into a couple of your comments as well. Big up there, Steve. Not too bad, la. What's Hugo? Yeah. They are Hugo. They are sniffing around Ibu Konate as well. But there'll be a lot of clubs, as I mentioned. Obviously, Upamecano, Slotterbeck. There's plenty of centre halves available in the next 12 months as well. Well, at the end of this current playing season as well. But yeah, I want him to stay. I think we all do, and hopefully Ibu, as long as he doesn't do a Mohamed Salah, a Salah interview, and but yeah, I think he's a bit more professional than that, really. Even if he was to go, I think he'd probably tell the lads in house, and then eventually come on if the end of the season we're like 5, 6, 7 points clear in top 4, top 5, or whatnot, or whatever. But certainly if we're in a Champions League semi-final and all that, I don't think he'd come out and say anything. He'd probably say at the end of the season. But Ibu, if you're staying, lad, please get that deal sorted, mate. But you need to be paid right and correctly in terms of football club as well. So Arne Slot was mentioned, obviously, in the latest interviews done for the usual round of Manchester City and build-up shows as well and content. Arne was quoted as saying contract talks are held in different rooms than these, whereas their news we share it with the world. But also, as that's not just a situation, these conversations stay private, and certainly, as I just said there with Ibu, and of course they will do, Arne. So, and he goes on to add in the same interview, Arne on signing Jamie Jacquet. Why not now? Because we signed him for the summer. As we know, we are still in talks with Ibu. Giovanni Leone hopefully comes back from an injury after the summer. We are really happy and glad that we are able to sign him as well. So obviously Arne, he's speaking when he's doing his interviews. He's got Ibu in his own mind in respect to the future planning. So certainly. But I think as an aspirations, as a football club, as fans, we want to be seeing the best players stay at Liverpool Football Club. I think that was a big signal from Richard Hughes. Obviously getting Salah and Virgil van Dijk signed to a new deal. I know hindsight's a great thing. Like now everyone's going, oh, Salah's he's not on 20 goals. But at the time before that, it was unimaginable to really, when you're analysing Liverpool's 2 top players leaving on a free. And obviously Trent left. Well, we got 10 million for Trent, didn't we, eventually? So we got some form of money, thankfully. But yeah, we can't be allowing Ibu to, even if Ibu does an agreement, but as we said, we know the modern day footballers, it's all about the big signing on fees, and obviously agents paying a big fee as well. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting summer. But you look at Giovanni Leone, you look at obviously Ibu Konate as well. He'll be going into his peak. He's currently 26 years old as well. So like, when's his birthday? 25th of May. So yeah, he'll be going into his prime years next season, 27, May time anyway. Well, just before the beginning of the season anyway. So yeah, chat. Would you like to see Ibu sign a new deal? You agree with me, or are you massively disagreeing as well? Do let us know. How do you analyse the situation? Do you expect Liverpool to officially get this contract signed and boxed off? It's not just Ibu though, chat. Obviously, Dave Davis has done plenty of shows. Everyone's done plenty of shows. Trev and Dave on the transfer shows as well. Like it's mad. Like because it's Richard Hughes. He's already had a busy summer. Obviously, you got the most difficult situation post Jurgen Klopp in terms of replacing him, getting a manager that is fully capable of winning the league. Let's not forget Arne did win the league last season in terms of galvanising the players, driving this team on as well. So hopefully we can go again and we can finish this season confidently and hopefully with a form of trophy to come at the end of May as well, chat. So would you like to see Ibu stay, or do you anticipate him to depart Liverpool Football Club as well, chat? It's going to be a lot of talk, certainly. Let's get to all your comments as well. So let us know your thoughts on that. Big up Jack Ibu for the future defence captain as well. And so, yeah, if you've watched me watch alongs, mate, on obviously Anfield Index, I've always said, I think, well, if anyone's analysed Ibu his characteristics as a player, I think the way he handles himself in interviews as well, very, very professional, speaks very well. Certainly, I think there was talk of Deschamps making him the French captain. Of course, Kylian Mbappe makes all the headlines as well, but yeah, I'm very surprised Ibu is not the out-and-out captain of that football, the international stage anyway. Because, yeah, certainly potential at this though. You're looking at Dom, you're looking at Ibu Konate as well. If he stays, if those two lads sign new contracts, it's so important and it's imperative for me and probably the majority of you as well that you have that core. We've mentioned the spine, but the type of characteristics that you need to win trophies and win league titles and Champions Leagues, you've got to have the personalities in the dressing room as well. In terms of obviously Dominic Szoboszlai, captain of his national side, could be potential future captain. So yeah, I don't think it would be a bad captain and vice captain, Dom and Ibu for the future. Obviously Ibu, you're looking at a post Van Dijk era as well. Probably, yeah, Ibu, you're looking at analysing, probably will be the most senior. If Robbo does depart, if Van Dijk and Salah does depart in the next year or so. So obviously, probably Ibu, if he signs a new deal, post Salah, Van Dijk era, yeah, it'd be about 28, 27. So yeah, it'd be in his pomp really, Ibu. So potentially there's no. That's a great question there, mate, as well. Big up there, Abdul. Nice one, laugh, bud. Do my job. Everyone, make sure you do like, share, and subscribe to Anfield Index as well. Yeah, we'll speak about obviously the Manchester City game at the back ends of the show, of course. I'll be live at 3:30 Reds. There'll be plenty. We'll be going through all the analysing Manchester City, analysing the Premier League as well. We'll do a little bit of it today anyway, but we won't dive too much into it because there's plenty of shows already coming out on Anfield Index. Big up there, Mateus. Afternoon, buds. Hope you're all well. Morning, evening, wherever you are watching or listening to Anfield Index this evening. Contracts lately. Anyone could leave posters. Yes, that's the world we live in, mate, innit? But we are a news channel as well where we do break down stories. We analyse the stories as well. That's our job, as Roy Keane would say. But yeah, obviously it's the Jackie injury, and nice one for mentioning that, Mateus. As I said, I haven't got a sports science degree, or certainly I've got a media degree anyway. But yeah, it looked like a bad injury there, didn't it, Matthias? If anyone, I know a lot of you sometimes don't have social media, but if you missed the news yesterday, Jeremy Jacquet looked like he went off, chat. It was like a shoulder injury. Looked dislocated from some of the images that I've seen. Didn't look good. We've seen Salah with his shoulder. Andy Robbo as well. Was it last season or the year before where he done his collarbone or shoulder or whatnot? So I did look at some of the diagnosis in terms of analysing from people that are a lot more qualified anyway in terms of breaking down that it could be a potential If it's a bad one, between 6 to 8 weeks, dependent. So that's more or less his League On season looking like finished and over and done with, really. But yeah, it's just not good, really, is it, chat? It's the Liverpool case with injuries, especially this season as well. Once you sign for Liverpool, you start getting injured again. Jeremy Frimpong in the Bundesliga, hardly ever injured, comes to Liverpool, gets injured 3 times in the space of like 2-3 months, but that's the physical demands. But yeah, hopefully Jeremy Jacquet is back, and hopefully we get a proper diagnosis, really, on that injury and the severity of that injury, and it's not too bad. No, Matthias, it won't. The deal's already been announced by Liverpool, mate. Obviously, this week. I don't know if you've seen that post on Liverpool social media. Yeah, it's certainly. We've seen players come back from shoulder injuries as well. But yeah, it won't certainly derail transfer. That deal's already done. Abdul's gone. Konate will go as well, in his opinion. New contract as well. But yeah, so yeah, let us know your thoughts, and obviously get your Liverpool, Manchester City starting 11, obviously your Liverpool starting 11 in the comment section below as well, Reds. And we're heading to obviously the Manchester City build-up anyway. We've got some interesting quotes from Arne Slot, if you haven't read them anyway, but some interesting quotes in the build-up to the Manchester City game. Obviously the pre-match programme notes from Liverpool's official program going into the game. So if you're picking up program, you'll be seeing these words from Arne on obviously Manchester City. When it was in Holland, it was always a fixture that people would look out for due to the quality of football and the rivalry that existed between the two teams as they fought it out at the top of the Premier League. This makes it a privilege to be involved, and having come up against City 3 times since moving to Liverpool, I am even better placed to appreciate the standard and also the demands. But simply, no one should be in any doubt about the levels you have to reach to win games like this, especially when Pep Guardiola is in charge of the opposition as well. Yeah, chat, big game today. Like, it is, and all of us, I know I've got some Arsenal fans, mates anyway, and yeah, some of them that I sound a bit similar with Liverpool fan base as well. Like, it depends who you speak to. Like, some of them are quite positive, and some of them are a bit over the top as well. Some of them are humble in terms of being top of the league, Arsenal fans. But yeah, Manchester City. I know Arsenal, even with the win that they had yesterday as well, with their bridge a gap, don't write off Manchester City. And if there's one football club, especially over the last 10 years, that knows that, is obviously Liverpool supporters as well. You can be a juggernaut, even though Haaland's going to be an absolute handful today. Even though he hasn't been fully firing over the last couple of weeks, he's got that quality on his day to just bang in about 5 goals, just off about 5 touches as well. So yeah, Arne, speaking about the quality, and I think Liverpool's expectations coming into this game, it's never going to be an easy game. And as we said, City have got something a lot more to fight for. Obviously, Liverpool fighting for the course still in the Champions League. We're fighting for 4th and 5th place, really, and trying to catch up with Aston Villa as well. But I think in terms of Manchester City, like, they've come to, not many times have come to Anfield and got the business over the line anyway, in terms of getting all 3 points. I think they've only won once over the last 7, 8, 10-year period as well, at Anfield. A bit similar with us when we go to the Etihad as well. So both teams at home are very strong, and fully expect, chat, it's a very similar game that we've had. I'm expecting a draw, if I'm being honest, sadly. But Liverpool, as I said, they're fighting for a league title. We're fighting for top 4, but looking at the league standings as well, chat, I'll just quickly get them up anyway. You look at how tight it is at the top of the Premier League as well. You look at who Arsenal playing next. One of the most informed teams so far in the season. Oh, of course, we mentioned Manchester United, but yeah, the quality within that Manchester United side certainly should be at least winning 4 games. But it's been about 10 years since they've won about 2 back-to-back games anyway. And obviously, I think Carrick was made up that he won't be getting asked about that Man United fan that's going to be cutting his hair. I think Bruno Fernandes was fuming when the reporter asked him after the game as well. So, Yeah, chat. You're looking at that. Man United on 44 points. Liverpool still, we're 5 points behind Manchester United in fourth, and they've got Leeds next. And obviously we've and Chelsea as well. You look at Chelsea, you're looking at Manchester United. Both of those football clubs have changed manager and head coach, and they've went on a 4 winning win streak on the bounce, both of them. And that, if that is the thing to look forward to in the future, then yeah, it's certainly not good. It's like all talk of City winning the league, but we've got to focus on our Champions League expectations as well. If we're not competing today, if we're not going into every single challenge, winning the second and third ball, then I think very quickly, not just the Manchester City game, but going beyond that as well in a couple of weeks. Because I've spoken to a couple of my mates as well when you've had a little look at the fixtures. A couple of my mates went, "Oh, they're winnable fixtures," and I was like, "Hang on, we said that about 5 weeks ago when we were like, oh, we've got these winnable fixtures." There's no winnable fixtures in the Premier League no more, given the quality within the Premier League. So, and it's just so annoying. Like, if we picked up a couple of points against Leeds as well, the Sunderlands, and got Sunderland in a week or so time, haven't we? So that's away from home in the Stadium of Light. And for me, I do think we will get beat by Sunderland because they are ridiculous at the Stadium of Light. They are literally unbeatable this season at home anyway. So it's always going to be a challenge. But Reds score predictions, yeah. We're not looking forward to the game, of course, because it's trepidation. Certainly a lot of trepidation coming into this game. But if we can play our best, if we get Ekitike, we get Floody and Vates in full flow today as well, and Salah can actually turn up this week and showcase his qualities. But it's always going to be a very difficult period. And you look at some of the predicted lineup as well. You got Donnarumma, Marquehi, Diaz, Nunes, O'Reilly, Reinders, Gonzalez, Rodri, Cherki is touch and go at the minute. Ryan Cherki, obviously, you think he got injured last week, but it's very touch and go at the minute. And obviously Antoine Semenyo as well. Some of the players that are doubtful as well, Bernardo Silva, doubtful coming into this game, but I think if anyone's not been watching them, I think he's kind of recaptured a bit of form that we've seen of Bernardo Silva. In terms of his footballing quality, he's fantastic, but as a footballer, he's an absolute nuisance, really, isn't he? He's more or less the Andy Robbo of our team in terms of just winding up opposition players. Andy's a phenomenal fella, but if you obviously any opposition teams probably look at Andy Robbo and some other players in our team and go, yeah, he's a bit of a nuisance, isn't he? But you need that. You need those type of personalities just to wind up oppositions. But certainly Bernardo Silva, phenomenal footballer, but absolute nuisance sometimes as well. And obviously John Stones, muscle injury. Gavardio, he's expected back early May. That's a big injury for them. Obviously the Croatian centre-half has been a revelation since he's come into the Premier League. Adapted really well to the division. Obviously Doku, expected back late February as well. So we won't be, by the looks of it, kicking anyone in the penalty area. Still waiting for that decision to be getting called. Silvino as well is back late February as well. So chats, and obviously we know our injuries, obviously Isaac, Stefan, Frimpong, a couple of injuries. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. Chats, if you had to pick a start 11, we'll go through a couple of the start 11s anyway. But I think that would be... I'd go with that as well. The only issue, obviously, with City playing Rodri and Gonzalez, two very defensive-minded. Well, even Ryan, obviously Reinders as well. I think he's adapted really well. I didn't expect him to do that as well as he has. Obviously, when he used to play for AC Milan, the Dutch midfielder, certainly Arne Slot, and obviously certainly Virgil van Dijk, and obviously Jeremy Frimpong know a lot about Reinders. But I think in terms of him adapting to the division, I think his physical strengths have really suited the Premier League, hence why Man City spent a load of money, of course, and he's a phenomenal footballer. So between the boxes, he's one of the best between the boxes, as Arne loves to mention as well. So we've got to identify, pick him up, make sure he's not running into making those late runs into Liverpool's penalty area as well. And obviously Semenyo and Cherki speak for themselves. Steve's gone 2-1. Fingers crossed, mate, to Liverpool. It's going to be a high-scoring fixture, certainly, as it has been in over the last couple of weeks as well. And where is this? Get some Jack, what's your manager choice? Arne Slot at the minute, mate. I know a lot of people might go, what? And I know for me, Arne, obviously the video that come out this week as well, and the message is bright and clear to every single football fan as well. To Liverpool fans, but obviously everyone's entitled to think whatever they want to think about Arne Slot as well, but in a respectful manner. But for me, Arne, he's got until the end of the season. And hopefully we can win a Champions League, because if he won the Champions League, chat, he's going absolutely nowhere. As much as that might disrupt, annoy some people as well, but tell you, there's no way. So there's still plenty to play for. Maybe come at the end of the season, we finish outside the top 5, and we've got no European competition as well. Then sounds we can every Liverpool fan. But the message was loud and clear from the football club in terms of getting behind Arne Slot. I'm going to be doing that as well, even though. After the Forest game, as were a lot of people after the Forest game, I wanted a bit of a change, certainly. But at the end of the day, we just got to get behind the manager, get behind the players as well, and hopefully be a supporter as well. But I can understand where people might be in and out. But at the end of the day, for me, that video was quite clear from the football club in terms of getting behind Arne, in terms of where the football clubs does stand as well, in terms of the internal people, in terms of Richard Hughes, most importantly, the fella that can hire and fire Arne Slot. The message was clear from the football club in their direction of where they want to go as well. So for me, what I got from that video as well, just get behind them and see what happens at the end of the season. Hopefully we can win a couple of trophies come at the end of May. So, yeah, that's what I can understand. If other people are very different, I know a lot of people will be very different from me as well. I can understand where he's coming from as well. I've always gone with 2-2 as well. Or he's gone with a 1-1, so a draw for Liverpool against Manchester City as well. 6 defenders out for Manchester City. That's, well, beat them. They've only Gahey as a serious central defender, but he's no good on set pieces. Chat, I know obviously Matthias Nunes, he was very close to departing Manchester City, wasn't he, in the summer? Obviously Pep Guardiola had done a couple of interviews after the games where more or less blasted Matthias Nunes. Obviously was linked to Liverpool a long time ago, wasn't he? The Portuguese midfielder. Well, he was a midfielder, but he's playing right back this season. Obviously with the departure of Kyle Walker as well. So he does a solid job, but hopefully Gakpo can get him behind him, or Viet, whoever's playing down that left-hand channel. But O'Reilly, certainly one of the best young players in the Premier League. I think when I've seen him in the Premier, especially play for Manchester City over the last couple of weeks, he's been one of their standout players. I think he got a goal in the Champions League to get his first ever European goal over the last couple of weeks. So, yeah, they've got quality throughout their side, and even on the bench as well, chat. I find it mad where City fans just moan about, like, oh, injuries and all that. But, yeah, City's second and third team's good enough to win probably the FA Cup and League Cup every single season. So, yeah, City will spend in the summer. And that's where Liverpool need to spend in the summer as well. Because they are, for me, and probably for a lot of you Reds, they are the team you need to beat. I know Arsenal are doing really well, but fair play. But in an ideal season, when it's City and Liverpool going head-to-head on a consistent level, I do think there's still, even if Arsenal do win the league this season, I do think if that back line of Arsenal does get a couple of injuries, I do think they will struggle. They don't score enough goals for me, Arsenal. Don't score enough variety of goals. They can't, especially next season, as it was when when other opposition teams have analysed how they play up against Liverpool. Say if Arsenal win the league this season, then sound great, congratulations. But they'll suffer something very similar to Liverpool next season. It baffles me sometimes. The way teams do set up against Arsenal, but they have a different strategy when they come up against Liverpool. Yes, we're champions, but it's like everyone in the division knows Arsenal are like so good on set pieces and everything. Yes, sometimes you can't stop it, but in reality you can. Was it the Chelsea manager as well? It was fair play. It was confidence, but he left 3 attackers on the halfway line, wasn't it, as well? So, and that's what you should be doing. It's risky, don't get me wrong, but if you leave three attackers on the halfway line, that commits 3 Arsenal defenders or 3 players from Arsenal to take out the box. But yeah, chat, it's going to be an interesting game, chat, today. 2-1, Steve. Hopefully, mate. I'm going to go, as Edisto said there, must win today for top 5, and also a matter of prestige for Geiki and Semenyo. Will lose as they're heading back to the empty stadium as well. Yeah, it's mad, isn't it? Absolutely mad indeed. Yeah. Yeah, looks like nothing's happening to the Manchester City this season, is there anyway? So yeah, probably giving them a points deduction after the season's ended anyway, or whatever. But chat, hopefully we'll see you in the post-match live, late night live, not late night live, match day live anyway. As you can see, this is the schedule for today. Obviously, we've got the Daily Red now. Obviously, Match Day Live, I'll be kicking off, obviously, the watch-along at 3:30. Then you've got the Gags Tandon show, and then you've got the post-match Raw, and then obviously you've got a bit about Slot's post-match presser as well, and you've got the final whistle with, hopefully, it will be Ben and Nina, but if not, it will be Nina taking you through all her analysis of all the latest Premier League results off the back of the Liverpool game as well, and all things Liverpool. So do check into that, Reds. They'll be all live shows. But if you are new to Anfield Index, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. Head over to AnfieldIndex.com if you want to listen to audio podcasts. But if you are a pro subscriber, you'll be able to listen to all those podcasts in their full entirety as well. Obviously, YouTube's just a little bit of a preview anyway, but there's so much great content behind, obviously, the paywall as well. So, Reds, massive thank you for every single one of you for tuning in today. Try and enjoy the game. Hopefully we'll see you at 3:30 come what kickoff time as well. It's never going to be easy, chat, but as you've already alluded to, top 5 is imperative for Liverpool this season. 3 points are a must. Obviously it's not guaranteed, but this is where Anfield needs to be certainly rocking as well. But Reds, I'll see you at 3:30. Reds, do like, share and subscribe to Anfield Index to keep up to date on all things Liverpool. Reds, for now, see you later. Enjoy the game and look after yourself.